Hello, here it is at 11 o'clock p.m. and I've decided to do a podcast. Welcome to Creative You Yarn Podcast. It is one day past Mother's Day and it's still rainy and damp here in Pennsylvania. So I thought I'd show you some things I was doing. I took a little break because I don't think anybody's seeing my podcast and I don't know why, but they seem to be hidden under the video tab. So I went to having views to no views. But anyway, so I had shown like 5 colors of brown sheep cotton fleece. Also, brown sheep in Nebraska is a 3rd generation family. I think only about 5% of companies make it to 3 generations. And they have drop shipment, which means you can go on their website, pick whatever you want, email me at creativeyarns.com, send me your order, I send it to them, you pay me, and it comes right to your house. And CaselleKnitting.com also does drop shipment. So now that I have Patches and she is meow, she makes the silliest noises for a cat. I was telling Mary Whitener, if you're listening, I was telling Mary that Patches, the decision to keep her or not keep her really was my husband's decision because I had made a promise that I wouldn't bring any more cats home. And so this cat fell in love with my husband, adored him, would sleep beside him, lick his hand over and over and over, nose kiss him. And my husband would kind of blush like, wow, I don't know, this cat loves me. And I was telling Mary that once my husband, excuse me, 1 minute, made a decision that we would keep her because there were other people interested in her. Hey, Patches. She just dropped him. She stopped licking him. When he goes to pet her, she acts like it bothers her. Mary just got this look on her face like a cat would do that. So I'm starting to find kitty hairs on all my things. It is a compliment when a cat wants to lay on your clothes or lay on things that smell like you. When you're actually knitting it, it's hard to see the pattern. It's a garter stitch chevron. Wow, is something wrong there? But it's there. Yeah, it's there. So it's double-stranded. The pattern is really only a 2-row repeat. It's easy to memorize. I'm hoping to get this done for my husband's birthday, July 22nd. He doesn't like wool, so I think he'll like that. I've been talking different things about how color influences you, what influences the colors that you like. The things that you see in your home influence you. So this is a bouquet I have of dead flowers. Now, not everybody would like dead flowers, but I think they're quite pretty. My husband had gotten me was it a coral shaped rose? And when it died, it started turning this lovely shade of purple, like a purple and a gold. And we know from yarn that purple and gold look great together, and it does influence you. So my quote from the day, Will James, act as if what you do makes a difference, because it does. You may feel like it doesn't. Winston Churchill, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And ladies, men, children, it is a time to be courageous. Never bend your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. That's Helen Keller. Kind of disagree with that though. You want to bend your head to God always. Okay. So this yarn, and maybe it is because, oh, Zig Ziglar. I once went to a conference with Zig Ziglar, so I have to see what he said. That guy would literally walk the stage apart as he was giving his promotional speeches. Literally the stage. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Woo, love it. So this is a glitzy yarn called Modella. And what happened when I opened up my shop, we had a big $2 sale. And the Modella, which was $9.50. Look at all those colors and texture. What does this remind you of? I love those light creamy colors in this background. It reminds me of like a dark trees on a winter day with birds' nests, and I don't know. Accidentally got put on the $2 table. I don't think it was this color, but a lady bought it before I caught the mistake and came in with this incredibly beautiful shawl that she knitted and wanted to get more for $2. I said, I'm sorry, I can't sell any more for $2. So I don't think that holding this up really shows the beauty. It's not showing the rich black color. It's making it look muted and faded out. Isn't that so frustrating about holding things up? So what I'm doing is a triangular shawl and garter stitch, but then I decided to get a little fancy, and I have holes here. I actually invented a little stitch. I don't know if anybody else has ever done it. I'll share it later, but you can't really see it. But then I decided to do some stockinette stripes set in there, and this lovely yarn is Cascade Luminosa. It is so pretty. It comes in colors that just look like royalty: rich purples, sapphire blues, emerald greens, and this is the goldish copperish color. The one pattern that everybody made that looked great was called the waffle hat. It was like a fruit before it, not the blueberry waffle, but maybe raspberry waffle hat. Looked great with this yarn. So this should be easy to knit. And why can't I just do it plain? I don't know. There's something in me that I got to do something fancy. Maybe I'm squirrely. So the last thing is the Dinner in the Eiffel Tower shawl. And this is a pattern by Jessie Dodington. And I wanted to show you what it looks like in stripes. It's also very pretty in stripes. This yarn here is Amatola Grande. It's a Louisa Harding yarn, and I carry that yarn. I also carry Blue Heron Rayon Metallic. That yarn just has incredible drape. There's a shawl done out of that. Isn't that just a beautiful pattern? So again, a shout out to Mary Whitener. Mary loves to do shawls in yarns that most people don't pick out. I mean, people were all going for the fingering weight yarn, the speckled, and Mary was picking wool and just making beautiful things. So I decided to do a Mary Whitener move, and I picked Queensland Cairns. It's a flat yarn, we call that a tape yarn, with two colors, one in the middle, let's see, one in the middle, and then it slowly changes. And this one, I think, is Kangaroo Island. Isn't that pretty? And when you look up Cairns on the website, that's another color that I like. That's one of the newer colors. It does do striping, and it should be interesting. Oh, we had a great time at the shop making these market square bags. We did a knit along, and everybody did them in different colors, and they were so pretty. But what am I trying to say here? There isn't a lot of each color, so it's not a long repeat. So if you did something like a scarf, you would get short rows. So what I'm seeing here is gorgeous because it's holding my interest by changing. I realize it's a little dark here, by changing colors about every 2 rows. And as this gets bigger, it might change colors every 1 row. And I really didn't want to stop knitting today. It's a damp, cold day, and I just wanted to knit and knit and knit and forget my responsibilities and just go to town and knit up this whole skein and be ready for my second skein. But my husband was calling me, "Are you coming home? When are you coming home?" The clock at the shop stopped. Now, technically, we're not allowed to be open, but when you don't know what time it is, you can just get into like your own zone. Just not even worry, just go, just knit, just whatever. Read a good book. I've been reading a lot of good books. I just finished the Troublesome Creek trilogy. You know what was really disappointing? I loved the first book, loved it. And in the end of book 1, Copper decided who she was going to marry. Is she going to marry the mountain boy that she grew up with and was her best friend? Or is she going to marry the city doctor who stole her heart? And I mean, literally stole her heart. And she made her decision. So I go to Amazon and look up the next 2 books. And right away, the first review I look at, she tells me that she becomes widowed with a baby. I wanted to scream, like, that is not a book review. Why would you spoil it for those of us that haven't even read the book? So the whole book, and I'm telling you this thinking that you're not going to read these books. The whole book, I'm on the edge of my seat because they're so in love, and she finds out she's pregnant, and when is he going to die, and how is he going to die? So please, if you write a book review, don't spoil it. A book review is not supposed to be a blow-by-blow description of what happens in the book. It's supposed to be a critical look at, was it a good book? Did it have a good plot? Were the characters interesting? So, and my husband has not really read a book in years, and he got so wrapped up in the first book. Now I'm back to Anna Perry Mysteries, and my husband and I always read the Bible, and we just read Joshua, where Joshua crossed over the Jordan, and most people know about the parting of the Red Sea, but they don't know that to establish Joshua as the next leader after Moses died, God parted the Jordan River, and the priest stood in the water holding the Ark of the Covenant, thinking how tired their hands must have gotten. And while after all the people passed through, God told one man from each tribe, 12 tribes, to pick out a stone. Now we're talking about a big one, and stack them up and make a memorial to God forever. And they put them in the water where the priests were holding the Ark of the Covenant, which is God's presence. This would be a memorial forever to tell their children, their children's children, what happened. And you know, that is still standing today. Someone found that. I'm thinking we should have memorials for the things in our life that God has done for us. Sometimes when I'm having a bad experience or you're just sick or whatever, I'm thinking, don't waste your suffering. Make something beautiful. Say, oh, that's my shawl when I had the flu, or that's what I made when my grandchild was born, or I started a Mother's Day shawl. These are the 4 colors from my 4 kids. So yeah, make a memorial with your craft and the work of your hands. So with that, our time is up. I hope people find this video. Keep that smile. Keep that inner joy that only God can give, and shine, baby, shine.